Hello, my name is Austin. This is my 5th exam video on mutations. So basically in this video, we're going to be mutating a strand of DNA up here, and by doing that, we need to get the mRNA sequence, and I just flipped the T's to U's in the coding strand just because there's no T's in mRNA sequence. But first, we're going to look at the normal sequence or the wild type, and we're going to look at the different amino acid that this the nucleotide chain codes for. We're going to use this codon chart down here to do that. So we look at the start codon, which is this AUG, and we get a stop. One of the 3 stop codons is this one. So this is our amino acid sequence when it's not mutated. But the first mutation we're going to look at is a missense mutation. And this is basically when one of the amino acids is changed due to a point mutation. And all a point mutation is one change in a nucleotide in the sequence. So here we have, it went from UGG to UGC, changing this protein. And you can see how the chain of proteins here was changed. And this is a transversion. What I mean by that is that when it went from a G to a C, it went from a purine to a pyridine, and therefore that's why it's transversion. If it would stay, for example, within the purines, then it would just be a transition. And you can see how it affects the coding strand here with this C versus this G. Next, we're going to look at a nonsense mutation, and this is when one of the amino acids mutates into a stop amino acid. So you can see it went from UGG to a UGA, which is a stop codon. So all of these amino acids were lost. Therefore, we only have the start and the stop here versus we lost these 3 amino acids in the middle. This is a transition, like I had said, because it stayed within the purines. It didn't cross over to the 2 different nucleotide groups. And you can see how it affected the coding strand here with this A versus a G. Next, we're looking at a silent mutation, and a silent mutation is just a change in one of the nucleotides, but it doesn't result in a change in the amino acid formed. It went from AUU to an AUA. However, the amino acid was the same, so the chain from the mutated or the non-mutated to the mutated was the same. And this is a transversion. Like I said, it went from AU to an A with the crossing over. And you can look and see how that affected the coding strand. Finally, we are looking at a read-through mutation, and this is kind of the opposite of a nonsense mutation where the stop codon is mutated and therefore it keeps reading. You can see it went from a UGA to UGC, so therefore we got this extra protein here in this chain just because of the mutation here. This is also another example of a transversion. And finally, you can see how it affected the template strand here with the C instead of a G.